beauty addicts, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my Q&A video. So it's been long overdue, but I had so many other videos that I wanted to put together for you guys. And you know, I thought today would be nice to just make this a chill video, just sitting on the bed talking to you guys. AKA I'm lazy and don't feel like completely putting together my backdrop stand. I was just like, I just can't. It takes forever, especially because now that I'm here, I'm trying to be more clean, keep my room clean because I'm living with my parents. So I try to put it away. So now I'm like, oh my god, let's just skip it. So anyway, I want to jump into the Q&A, and I'm pulling the questions from my fall get ready with me video because I asked you guys in there if you had any questions to, you know, ask me your questions on that video. If you guys want to see another Q&A, just make sure to leave some questions down below in the comments of this video, and if I get a bunch, then I will make sure to put together another Q&A. And with all of my Q&As, you can ask me anything beauty related, personal related, completely random. Go for it. So yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna go to, I'm at my fall get ready with me video on my phone. I'm gonna go through and look at the comments to see what your guys' questions are. All right, so the first question comes from Jay Holme. Now, if you guys don't know, Jay Holme has a YouTube channel, and she is also vegan and cruelty-free, which I much appreciate. It's so nice to watch her videos and be like, oh, I can actually, you know, buy and use these products. So, or at least look into them. So it's really nice to have another vegan and cruelty-free YouTuber on here. So if you're vegan and cruelty-free or both, one or the other, make sure to go check her channel out. If you're neither, it doesn't really matter. She has an awesome channel. She just put together some fun Halloween tutorials, and I find her hauls really helpful. So yeah, make sure you guys go and check her out. I will leave her information down below in the description box as always. So her question was, do you have any advice for others going through similar long-term health struggles like me, I guess she's trying to say. So I do have an answer for this, but I also want to refer you guys to my health issue series on the Beauty Addict Diaries, and also my video that I put up on Health and Fitness Barbie called Living with Chronic Pain. So in those, I kind of, you know, my health issues is the detailed version of everything that I've gone through since, I want to say 2011, 2012 to now. Like, I'm still working my way, and I think I just jumped into 2016, of my whole entire story of all the health problems that I've encountered, things I've been fixed, not fixed, whatever. So if you want the full, like, really detailed information, TMI information, gonna warn you, that would be on that video. But if you just want a summary, you want to learn more specifically about chronic pain, I have that on the Health and Fitness Barbie. I'll link the playlist down below for my health issues, and I'll link down below the video for living with chronic pain. And in the living with chronic pain video, I give you kind of like my whole story. So I summarize everything that I've gone through, not with all the little details, but I do a summary. And then at the end, I give you guys my tips on how to deal with living with chronic pain. And a lot of those tips apply to if you have depression, anxiety, or other health issues. And they're things that I have been working on. So, and I'll share some of that stuff with you right now, or any additional tips that I want to give to you that I can think of off the top of my head. Because it seems that not a lot of my subscribers, but a good amount, surprisingly amount of good. See, this is what's hard about having health issues. You can't always think properly. And like, I'm not feeling my best right now. When am I ever? But like, it's actually a better day for me, so that's why I'm filming. So, but my train of thought is like always off. So I feel like I sound like a freaking idiot all the time. Because, you know, especially when you're in pain, it's just like kind of hard to concentrate on other things. So I think, but anyway, so I've encountered a decent amount of people who have told me that they have some health issue, or they have a family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, have a problem with their health in some way or another. Some that are very similar to me, some that are completely different. So, you know, it's sad that I'm in good company. Like you know, it's nice to not feel alone, that I have other people who experience it, but like, it's bad. I feel bad for anyone who has to deal with any health issue, whether, you know, it's a level 1 pain nuisance to a level 10, you know, it's really, really hard to deal with. And it's not even just hard to deal with just on a physical level, but also a mental level, emotional level, a social level, dealing with how it affects other things in your life, and then other people in your life, and how those things affect back at you. So you really got to find a way to deal with all of that. And the biggest thing that I have thought of that's helped me, no matter what level of pain, I just think mind over matter, mind over matter. And it's a saying that my mom said to me one time, like mind over matter, just to kind of, you know, help me get through everything. And it's so funny that she suggested that, because I'm like actually thinking about getting a tattoo whenever I have money that says that. So, and I'm probably going to get it done on the back of my neck is what I'm thinking so far. I like to put tattoos in places where I can hide them if I want to. So obviously I can just have my hair down if I need to. But I just think mind over matter. So, and that's just, you can't, and the reason why that one's really sticking with you, A, it's short, but B, you can't, sometimes there's nothing that you can do about the matter. You cannot change that. There's nothing you can do, but you can fix your mind. So you have to somehow overpower it. And honestly, sometimes I think I do a bad job of this. Sometimes I think I do a good job of this. You know, I kind of can be more open with you guys on Snapchat, but if like on Snapchat, I feel like you guys probably like, you know, you kind of understand more of what I'm going through, or maybe if you watch my health issues on the Beauty Addict Diaries, you have a better idea. But if you're just following me just strictly on my beauty channel, you know, I feel like you may have heard me say a thing here and there about my health, but overall, like 95% of this channel is just talking about beauty products and like happy things that don't really relate to food. Some things have come up, but really for the most part, nothing. So I feel like a lot of people who watch these videos are like, she has health problems. I've even had people tell me, like, even on Snapchat, like, it doesn't even seem like you have any health problems. And, you know, to me it's good, because when people say that, because I'm like, oh, good, I'm not like a Debbie Downer. But the other time, it's kind of frustrating, because I feel like people think that I may be lying, or I'm a big baby, or exaggerating. So, I knew I didn't have a ton of questions from you guys, but I knew no matter how many, like I could have just 2 questions and I can make a full video with it. But, I don't even know what I was saying. But yeah, because like some of the problems I have are like invisible illnesses. It's not like, you know, or at least at the moment, maybe I do have an illness that just hasn't been discovered. I'm going to be tested for Crohn's disease and something that starts with a U. I forget what it's called. I might be tested for that in the near future once I go to see my next doctor. But as of right now, I just kind of have some invisible illnesses going on that the doctors are still trying to figure out. There's a lot of illnesses actually, like especially in the GI area. There's like a million different GI disorders that don't really have like names, or they're not that well known, or like there are variations of one type. So it's really complicated when it comes to GI. So a lot of people like I've run into that don't understand. Let me just make sure I'm answering her question. Do you have any advice for others going through similar long-term struggles as you? But yeah, so like mind over matter, surrounding yourself with good people, people who are really supportive. I was in a long-term relationship for like 5 of the 6 years that I was struggling with my health, and that person basically just told me it was all in my head, got a surgery, still having problems. Well, now it's in your head, you know, and basically telling me that it was more difficult for her to deal with than me. So even though I'm a sick one who's depressed, it's more upsetting for her, because, you know, she has to watch me go through it. And I'm like, I'm the one in pain. And then you know, she would always like freak out on me, saying that I was, you know, making her life so difficult. And I told her, well, then don't come to doctor's appointments with me. Don't do this, don't do that. And then she's like, well, no, you have to let me know what's going on, and I have to come, because otherwise I'm a bad girlfriend. I'm like, oh my God, like there's no way I could win. And, you know, and then I wanted to go on a vegan diet, both for ethical reasons and for my health. And she literally like flipped out on me like I was about to go murder somebody. Like it's just terrible. So she was not supportive. And of course, during this whole entire time, my parents and my 2 youngest brothers were in Hong Kong, so far away. So I had to deal with a lot in Pittsburgh on my own during that period, being in a really bad a relationship while also having a lot of health problems. And even after I ended the relationship, I still had to live with that person for like 9 more months, because she was a nut job and like wouldn't, even though we paid to break the lease, she didn't want to move out. She wanted to live with me for the rest of the year. Whatever, for whatever reason. Even if you like were trying to time it up with moving in with somebody else, like I'm sure you could have found another option. Like I don't even know. But so yeah, you want to, you know, think positive thoughts. that will motivate you to get through the day. Surround yourself with people who will support you. Look to the future. That's what I've been, like, a lot of the stuff that I've been trying to, you know, I say mind over matter. That helps me get through the tough times when I'm going through physical pain. I surrounded myself with my family, so if I have any problems, I have people who can take me to the doctor, who are here to support me and help me get through all of this. And then, you know, mentally it's been really hard because not only am I going through these health problems, but I feel like such a failure because I can't even keep up with the YouTube schedule. I don't have a job. I have no income. I'm a very productive person, so I just have to think about what can I do in the meantime to better my future and what things am I looking forward to in my future whenever I do get better. And that's kind of helping me. I'm like, okay, I'm planning out like where I want to live and like what furniture I want to get, and like kind of maybe like I want to put together an Excel spreadsheet of kind of like how much money I need to save to buy all those things, and like ideally what I want to do with the rest of my life and things I want to do. Like I want to travel, I want to go back to Spain, I want to go to Los Angeles, and I want to go to New York City for all of like the beauty events and fashion events. So I'm just kind of thinking like, you know, about that. So it's good to think about your future. And I also the next thing that I would suggest that I actually started doing, I was a little hesitant to start doing it because I didn't want to be more of a burden to my parents, but I think I'm going to do this bi-weekly. I'm going to start seeing a therapist, and I did already go to one session. I have the next session, not this week, but the following week. So I think I'm going to go bi-weekly, and just a place where I can go and get my frustrations out. When I left that session, I felt so freaking good. I felt so happy. It just made it so nice to be able to get out all of my frustrations with someone who's not biased. That's the thing that I think is the greatest thing about a therapist, is they're not biased, and you can open up and say whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about that in your home life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, there's certain people that you know that you don't want to know certain things about you, and if you're going to therapy, you're really trying to work through what's bothering you, and if you have to hide stuff, that really doesn't help you. So if you go to a therapist, you can really just release everything, figure it all out, and it made me feel so good, and I definitely think, you know, continuing to go, I think bi-weekly will be good for me. Next thing I would say is to keep busy. Keep busy, but don't like stress yourself out. You know, distracting yourself from like physical pain or discomfort is like the best thing that you can do rather than just sitting there and thinking about it. So that's why I like to try to keep as busy as I can, or take a nap. But like at the same time, I'm also trying to balance out not stressing myself out too much, which is why, you know, I may miss videos, or videos may post a little bit late or not post till the next day. So just keep that in mind, you know. So I'm trying to make sure that, you know, if I end up having a really bad reaction, then I'm not pushing myself to get a video up, or pushing myself to edit to get a video up. So, you know, you got to balance out keeping yourself busy, but also not, you know, pushing yourself too hard. So I could have just made a whole video on, I did. Right now, this is the whole video on the answer to her question. I am such a chatty Cathy, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I am so open, and I just talk so much, and I'm very detail oriented, so I like to give like the full background and story. I'm just trying to think. I kind of want to like hit bullet points. So mind over matter, positive things to think about to help you get through the day, surrounding yourself with people who will support you. What else did I say? I don't know, I think I'm missing one, but keeping busy, going to therapy. Oh, talking about things that you look forward to in life, and thinking about what you look forward to in life, and just think about those positive things. Also, thinking about what you're grateful for helps too, because sometimes we focus on what we don't have. We need to focus on what we do have, and I struggle with that. So that's another thing. Also, I thought of something else. So if you're someone who is having a lot of gastrointestinal issues, I have found, and I think I even found, that going on a vegan diet helps. So for me, I had a hard time with it because I have a hard time with fruits and vegetables. So I was really having a hard time getting my nutrition in. And, you know, it's just, I'm just trying to do experiments and figure out what the heck's going on with my body. But I've had a lot of other people who've told me that they've gone vegan, and it's really helped with their health too. Especially because if you're dairy can cause bloating, cut that out. Meat can be hard to digest too, and you never know if it's not cooked right. So that could be helpful to you. Another thing is that you also need to know that you're not alone. I would recommend going onto YouTube channels or social media where you can find people who are going through similar issues as you. So you can look up health videos. You can look up people on social media. Like I went on Instagram, I started following people who who use the hashtag living with invisible illness or chronic pain, so I could connect with people who understand what I'm going through, and, you know, getting to chat with them and like our struggles. It really also helps connect you and form a bond, and you don't feel like you're alone as much because they understand what you're going through. I guess you could also join a support group too for people who have some similar illnesses to you. I don't know if they have like a general gastrointestinal illness group, but I'm sure you can find something out there that will work for you. All right, now we're going to move on to the next questions, which come from Mary Salo. And if you guys don't follow Mary Salo, you should definitely follow her on Instagram. She's a really great Instagram. Also follow her on Twitter. I'll leave her information down below as well, but I really love her Instagram. It's so cute. So here are her questions. So the first one is, what's your all-time favorite ColourPop Super Shock shadow? So the ColourPop shadow is this one. It's the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Couche, which is an ultra metallic. So this was from the holiday 2016 collection, and I absolutely love this eyeshadow. Tinsel was a close second, but Tinsel is not as versatile, but this shade could be paired with a lot of different looks. It's just so pretty. You're probably not gonna be able to see it from here. I'll try to do a close-up, but I just think it's the prettiest shade ever. So yeah, I think this is a little bit more versatile than Tinsel. Tinsel I like to put in the crease. This one I loved putting on the lid. It's just so incredibly gorgeous. And that look that I created last year, I will link it down below using those shades. I don't know if you can still get them, or you could probably get them high priced or whatnot. Hopefully you can find something that's similar in your collection, but I'll link down the makeup tutorial. That's like one of my favorite makeup looks of all time. And this is one of the shades from it. So I love ColourPop Couche. There's so many good ones though, like Millionaire is good, Puppy Love is good. I love a lot of the crease shades. The one from Kathleen Lights, which one is it? Whatever the one with Kathleen Lights is good. Wilshire and Selfie. Like, I love, just generally speaking, my favorite from ColourPop is the Super Shock shadows with the light to medium brown shades that go really well in the crease and the little lash line. But that holiday 2016 collection was amazing. And then Mary also asked, if money was not a problem, what's one makeup item would you buy now? Now I'm debating. Yeah, honestly, if we're just talking about for me, because I know I always talk about limited edition stuff, but if we're just talking like me, I would definitely get, it's still available, I would get Dose of Colors Desi x Katie Hot Fire. That lipstick is the perfect color. That's like my definition of a favorite lipstick shade, is that orangey reddish color. Like, it's just absolutely stunning, and I would absolutely love to get it. Like, I'd rock it year round. And Savage was really pretty. I love the highlighter Fuego, but out of the entire collection, Hot Fire was like my #1 one. So I would absolutely love to get that. Absolutely would love. And then Mary asked, what's your favorite Netflix TV show? So it's hard to say, like, there's a favorite Netflix I don't know if it's necessarily just Netflix. What's your favorite Netflix TV show? Okay, so my favorite TV show is by far, I don't know. I have two that I really, really like. I can't narrow it down to one. I really love The Walking Dead. I really love The Walking Dead. It was my grandmother's 70th birthday, so we had to go out to dinner on the premiere of the new season, and I haven't watched it yet, but I really need to. So I love The Walking Dead. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Those two are like my top, because I think The Walking Dead is just such a cool concept, and it's just badass, and I created one of my favorite makeup tutorial of all time based off of it. And then I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just think that the twists and turns in that show are just out of this world. But generally speaking, I've noticed that when I'm on Netflix, the channel that I get geared towards is Freeform. Like, I've been watching The Secret Life of an American Teenager, The Fosters, and Switched at Birth. I love Switched at Birth because I love learning the sign language, and I really would love to get fluent in sign language. But I'm going to start with Spanish. That's going to be my first thing that I want to learn. I knew Spanish before, I just haven't used it in a long time, so I'm like refreshing my memory. And because one of my goals in life is to go back to Spain, and I want to be able to be fluent and get around easy, like not be like, oh, I need a translator to look at my dictionary. I just want to know. But yeah, I noticed that I really geared towards those types of shows. And Chasing Life, so mad that that one was discontinued or canceled. Oh, but yeah, so there's a lot of good shows. I really liked Riverdale too. I wanted to see, there was another Netflix original. I can't remember. It was one where like everyone starts dying after the age of 21 or something. I can't remember what it's called, but I don't think it's coming back. So I think it would have been back by now. But that one was really good. All right, the next questions come from Joanne Hallinan. I love Joanne. She's the best. She always leaves me the longest comments, and we're always talking on Snapchat and other forms of social media, so she's very active across all of my platforms. So I really appreciate you, Joanne. You're amazing. She follows me on every single one of my channels, and you know I have 5. And but yeah, she's just such a sweetheart, and I love getting to know her. So love you, Joanne. So anyway, so she had a couple of questions, so I have to kind of dig for them. Let me see where the first one was. Okay, her first question was, what is your opinion on the foundation that you wore? So let me figure out what that was by checking out my description box. If you guys don't know, all of the makeup that I wear is always listed down in the description box. It's usually towards the bottom. So let's see, the foundation. Okay, it was a Physicians Formula Nude Wear Foundation. So that foundation I really, really like. It's not, well, I really like it, but I don't like it better than the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. So those are the 2 vegan and cruelty foundations that I have tried. I think the only vegan and cruelty-free foundations that I've tried. And I like the Physicians Formula one, but I'm more into the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. I just like the way that I just like the all-over effect of it. I don't know, it was because it wasn't super matte, but it wasn't dewy either, and it just felt really nice on the skin. It looks really good on the skin. I think both are great, but then if you're thinking too, like, okay, they're both about the same, I kind of leaning toward e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, but also the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation is more affordable. But I definitely think the Physicians Nude Wear Foundation is good. So if, you know, if you have a shade, if there's a shade that works for you, I definitely, you know, try it out if you don't mind trying it out. The only problem is, like, Physicians Formula isn't really good with their color range, which is kind of frustrating. I think they only have 3 shades. So you get like a light, a medium, and a dark. So that's the only thing that's really frustrating about them. But I did like the foundation. I think the foundation was good, and I wouldn't mind repurchasing it, especially because the packaging was super cute. It has a bow on it. It's so adorable. But I did like it. I just think I like the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation better, and I definitely want to try other ones. And then she said, what are the new cruelty-free updates? Curious about that one. So that one is scheduled to go up. Actually, that one's already up. So I should have already posted that video before this one. So I will link that video down below so you guys can check out my cruelty-free updates. And the last, my mom's calling. Hello? What's up? Yeah, I can hear you. All right, I can't remember where I left off because my mom called me and now I'm all disoriented. But the next question, the next question comes from Glam Barbie. So I absolutely love Glam Barbie. We've gotten to know each other a lot over on Snapchat. She does have a YouTube channel, so I will link her channel down below, like her Instagram and everything. And then of course the cloud moves and covers the sun. Anyway, so her Instagram is really amazing. She does a lot of cool eye makeup looks, which got the attention of Makeup Geek, who sent her a package. Like, go her. So make sure you go check out her social media. Like I said, I'll have it linked down below, but she does have really cool looks. So her question, I definitely think, is the juiciest out of all of them. Hers is, I want to know more about what happened with you and your shady ex and about the man you were dating. Love you, girl. So... oh, my life is just so interesting. It's been really hard, but it's been very interesting. So I dated a girl for 5 years, then lived with her for an additional 9 months. And then I also dated a guy for probably about a month. I met him on Tinder. I don't know what I was thinking, okay? So... I don't know what I was thinking. So, and I don't want to get into too much detail just because I may be an open person, but they don't want, I'm not even saying their name, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say too much. If some people know, can put the puzzle together, if they are mutual friends, can put it together and like, whatever. But I dated this girl and I met, if you guys want me to do, I don't know if I want to dedicate a video to it. It's going to be a long video, whatever. So I dated this girl for about, yeah, like I said, 5 years. So let me come up with a fake name for her. Maybe there's like a random name generator. Let's see. Okay, there's a random names that came up. We're just going to call her Emily. that was like the easiest one of the bunch. So I dated this girl, Emily, and I met her in college. And in college, I went in thinking that, you know, I'm just straight. And then I think it was my sophomore year that I was like, I think I'm into girls too. But I wasn't really sure. I didn't really get it because I've always been so into guys. Like, it's always like when I was growing up, I was like, I need a boyfriend. Like, you know. So, and I'm obviously like really attracted to guys. So when I was starting to feel a little attracted to girls, I was like, I don't know. And so then I met her. So there was this one girl that I had a crush on, and then I was like, yeah, well, maybe I'm just drunk. Like, I don't know. And then I ended up like maybe 8 months later meeting Emily. Like I said, it's a fake name. And, you know, we hit it off right away. And, you know, it was like maybe a week or two into knowing each other, we became official. And, you know, we just dated for 5 years. But like pretty much since the first, like, I think I broke up with her 2 weeks in because of a bunch of, I'm not going to get into the details, but pretty much I just started, it was only 2 weeks and I was trying to break up with her. And somehow I always ended up back with her, and I could not be with her. And I couldn't figure out the reason why. And I think part of the problem is, like, I was still trying to figure out my whole sexuality thing. Because it's like, oh, this whole time I thought I was straight. And then I'm like, I have feelings for a girl. I have attractions to a girl. And I just didn't understand. Like, I was still learning about how I felt about everything. And, like, to the extent, because if you guys aren't aware, sexuality is on a spectrum, so it's not black and white, and it's not like gray. It's not like there's gay, there's bisexual, and then there's straight. There's also variations and levels in between. So like for me at this point in time, I feel like I'm 90% straight and I have 10% gay in me. So because I'm more attracted to men, I see a future with men at this point, but I am attracted to girls. But I was dating this girl, and, you know, I just didn't want to be with her, and you know, and she also took advantage of the fact that I was confused about my bisexuality, because I was open with her and told her that I was confused about what I want. I've even told her over time, like, you know, like, I'm attracted to men, I miss being with a guy, like, you know, but every time I tried to leave, she blew up at me, said really mean things, called me names, threatened me, turn the tables and try to make me feel like a bad person, that I was going to regret it for the rest of my life, and that, you know, we're meant to be together. And anytime I would have feelings about men, she would just be like, haha, no, this is just your anxiety. You don't want to be with a man. Like, you know, it was so crazy to the point where, like, I mean, things just got worse over time, but like I could not get away from her. And, you know, one day I finally was able to get away from her, and thank God, thank God, I never felt more liberated, because it wasn't, for a while I was just thinking like it was a matter of, do I see a future with a female, or do I see a future with a male, or both, or whatever. And I didn't know. And I think I knew subconsciously that I wanted to be with a man for the rest of my life. Like, I didn't see myself marrying a woman. So I was trying to get away because I knew that. And we even went to a wedding, which blew up. That whole situation blew up. But I went to a wedding and I saw a straight couple get married, and I had a mental breakdown because based off past experience, I could not break up with her and get away based off how she treated me. And I knew that I would never have that. Like, you know, if I'm never going to get out of this relationship, because every time I try to leave, she won't let me, for however she manipulated me to stay, I knew that I would never have that, and that crushed me, because I want that. And, you know, I also want to, you know, have kids, and I would ideally, if I can, want to have kids the natural way, where, you know, you have sex with a male and female having sex, and me getting pregnant, you know, not like any artificial insemination or adoption. I'm fine with adoption if I need to, but like, I would at least, if I can, be able to have that experience of being able to carry a baby. So, you know, if that's possible. And, you know, I thought that was going to be taken away from me. And, you know, once I got away from her and got myself out of that situation, thanks to the help of my family, it was so liberating. It was so liberating. And sometimes I randomly think, like, I feel so lucky. Like, just it randomly hit me throughout the day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not stuck in that situation anymore. And oh my gosh, I will have the opportunity to walk down the aisle and get married. Like, it's just the best feeling ever. And it's also made me a stronger person, and it's made me, you know what I want, what I don't want, and how I should be treated, and also not to question myself, because I think part of it was like I have such a guilty conscience, which she knew, and I feel bad if anybody else feels bad, and if anyone says I'm doing anything wrong, I feel bad, and I can see it from their point of view, so then I disregard my point of view, and she knew all that, and you know, so she would, and she was also trying to mold me to be just like her, you know, so if we didn't like the same thing, she would get mad, so then I would try to do stuff that she liked, and like, you know, and some of it was fine, you know, there's sacrifice. The thing is, I was sacrificing for her, but she wasn't sacrificing for me, and she would give me a hard time about the stuff that I liked, but I wouldn't give her a hard time about the stuff she liked, so it's like, you know, it made me realize, you know, what I want, what I don't want, what I deserve, to not question myself, to follow my gut, and to not put up with bullshit, especially because I was going through so many health problems. That made everything 10 times worse, especially because she gave me crap for my health problems. Like, she made me feel like I was a burden and I was in the wrong and that I was crazy and whatever. She was not supportive at all and was not helpful at all. I even got yelled at for falling asleep at the hospital when her mother was visiting. Like, my mom came to visit you and you were sleeping when she was there and you didn't stay up to talk to her. And I'm like, I just had surgery. There's like nothing I could do, like, right. So it's like, oh, so glad to not be in that relationship. But then, you know, I went months where I just kind of like hung out with friends, maybe talked to a guy. I don't think I ever really went on a date. Like, I met up with this one guy once with him and his roommate, and like we hung out with some other people, and that was fun, and yeah, hung out with girlfriends and stuff, but I don't think I went on an official date until I got a Tinder account. Because at one point I was like, part of the problem was I wasn't like, I had no girlfriends to socialize with because everyone either moved or were part of cliques, and no one really wanted me to be a part of that clique. And I also lost friends because of my health issues. You know, people didn't want to invite me out at the point in time when I couldn't drink, because there was several years where I couldn't drink alcohol. And so I just felt like with that relationship and with my health, I got phased out of the social world, other than my ex-girlfriend and her friends. And she made it very clear when we ended our relationship. Before we ended our relationship, she's like, oh, they're your friends. And then we ended our relationship. She's like, oh, they're my friends. They think you're crazy. They hate you. Like, da-da-da-da. So some of them still follow me on Snapchat and Twitter and stuff. I don't know if it's because they still can't, like, they like me, or it's because they're spying on me for her. I don't know. Because there's some stuff, like, there's no way she would have known unless she had followed me on Snapchat through some secret account, or like had someone tell her. So, but yeah, because she made fun of me for getting laid off because I had health problems, and like I got laid off from my one job because there was like an acquisition. They said they weren't going to cut jobs, but they ended up cutting jobs. So she like made a sarcastic comment to me, making fun of the fact that I didn't have a job, or that I lost my job. So she's a freaking witch. This is becoming like a Q&A story time type of thing. So that's kind of fun. There's like little mini stories, and they're all kind of connecting, which is fun. Like, we talked about my health, and my health kind of connects to the relationship stories, and then in between we kind of had some like beauty related stuff. But yeah. So then, you know, I went through a period of time where I wasn't really dating, was focusing on my health, maybe hanging out with friends and whatnot. And then I just finally decided to get onto Tinder. And if you guys, I was going to do this, but then I didn't. But if you guys want me to do a video on Tinder, I can definitely do that. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if I should do it now or do it down the road once I get back on Tinder. Like, I'm on Tinder right now, but I have it like inactive because I don't see the point right now in dating anybody because of my health problems are so bad that like, I never feel good. So I don't want to be dating. And then I'm also like, oh, what do you do for a living? I sleep in my parents' house. You know, I have no job. My health sucks. I can't eat anything. You know, like, I just don't feel like that great to date right now. And it would affect my health if I dated right now, because if I had to go out to go on a date, like, I would starve myself ahead of time to avoid me having any pain going into the date. So like, it's just not a good idea. But anyway, I'm thinking maybe like once I get back into the dating scene, like when my health is better, kind of seeing how that is in this area and kind of compare it to Pittsburgh versus here. And like, so far I've only gone on one Tinder date. I went on one Tinder date. I canceled one date because the first Tinder date went so good. And the first Tinder date was the day before the next one. And now I feel crazy for canceling that date. But like, I met this guy on Tinder. We met, and it was funny because him and his friends didn't think I was real. Because all of my pictures are like my YouTube, Instagram photos of like my selfies, and like they're all like perfect because I got the lighting and everything. So like, and then like one picture of Michael. So I could, you know, I could have just stolen it from some other girl. Like I could, you know. So they thought that maybe I wouldn't be real, and I was real. So, and you know, when we met, he was like really fun to talk to. We had a really good time. Like we just seemed to hit it off a lot, and we were just both smiling the whole entire time, and he was like so sweet. And he started saying like stuff like, oh, maybe I married my future wife, da da da, which at that point in time, we were having so much fun. I didn't really think much of it. And like, maybe this is what love at first sight is. And mind you, like I've been through all of this shit, dating this crazy girl for 5 years, still living with her when I'm on this date. So I'm on this date and I'm still living with my ex. And going through all these health problems. So I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe I can finally have something that makes me happy. And I thought, maybe this is this guy. Maybe this is what love at first sight is. And, you know, and then we're like going to different stops throughout the day. Like we got food, and then we went and looked over, like in Pittsburgh, there's this place called Mount Washington where you can overlook the whole entire city. So we went up there, and, you know, he was like, let's delete our Tinder account. So I deleted. I was hesitant, but I just was like, let me just go with it. Let me just see where this takes me. So I deleted my Tinder account, canceled the date with the guy that I was going to see the next day, which I hate myself. Like, why did I do that? And then I continued hanging out with him. And then I was kind of questioning it for a second. I was just kind of like, maybe I'm not as into him as I thought. But I'm like, let me give him a chance. Like, maybe I'm just, like, being too hard on him. Like, maybe you're being too picky. And then, you know, we hung out some more, and I'm like, there was a lot of things about him that I really liked. I liked that he was, like, a gentleman and would open the door for me. It seemed like he had a lot of career goals and whatnot. So, like, I appreciated that. And, you know, there's a lot of things in that relationship that I didn't have in the previous relationship, like someone who was a gentleman who actually opened the door for me and, like, cared about that kind of stuff. He was male. So that was different. I got the whole manliness, like this buffer guy that I could date that, you know, could pick me up, and, like, you know, I can hold my hand with him in public and it's not going to be, no one's going to be giving me a weird look. And even my ex, I tried to hold her hand in public and she would not. The only time she would is when she was drunk. And that's because girls hold hands when they're drunk. So it doesn't, like, it wouldn't seem really weird when people are out drinking that, like, girls would be holding hands. So, and, so he had that going for him. So he was a manly male who was a gentleman, who was just, you know, who was nice to me. He seemed to really appreciate me and really like me, and stuff. And then as time went on, I just realized that, like the newness wear off, and I'm like, this guy is just not for me. Was just not feeling it. And I didn't want to break up with him right away because I didn't want to get in this situation where, like, I was when I was with my ex-girlfriend, because she would just be like, oh, well, you didn't give this enough time, or, like, she would have, like, these good excuses, or you didn't have time to think about it. So I didn't, like, want to break up with him right away. So I was just like, let me just, like, feel this out before I make this decision. Like, I don't want to make, like, a fleeting moment decision. Maybe he's, like, getting on my nerves right now. Like, let me just, like, take my time with this. So I don't get myself back in that situation. But there was just things, you know, there's this one thing that hobby of his that bothered me. There's something in his life that bothered me. I'm not going to say what it was, but, like, I didn't agree with it. And it, like, was something that made me uncomfortable. And what else could I say? Like, and then he just started getting on my nerves. Like, really getting on my nerves to the point where, like, I was stressed, like, 90% of the, like, 99% of the time that I was with him, which affected my health, which caused, you know, the stress was preventing me from eating. Like, he was, like, it was just hard to deal with, especially with my health problems. And, like, I was like, he's not making my health any better, because, you know, it was just him repeating the same things like 3 topics every single day, making these same 3 complaints every day. And it was just like, it just wasn't working out. And, you know, and looking back, I'm like, I have no idea why I dated this guy. And I think part of the problem is like we rushed into the relationship. We definitely rushed into it. And what also scared me off was the fact that he kept saying like he wants to marry me. And the first time he meets my dad, he wants to ask him for my hand in marriage, which he was hoping to ask my dad within a couple months of the relationship. And not to lie, there were some moments where I thought like, oh, you know, I do, you know, I can't wait to get married. And like I kind of could see a future with him and stuff. But then I realized that was just me wanting to have a future with a male and have children, not necessarily with him. But like, there are times where we keep going on about it until I never, and like talking about how, and he stopped me and started talking about how we were going to have kids, and he was already looking in, like a couple weeks into the relationship, was already looking into apartments that we can live together in. I'm like, I just moved into my new apartment where I want to, you know, have my single time. And part of me was like, okay. And like, there's just things that just like weren't gelling with me. And so some of the things that I appreciated started wearing off. And then I tried breaking up with him. And then he talked me out of it. He was like, give me another chance. Da, da, da. So I gave him another chance, gave it a couple weeks. And I'm like, he's still, nope, not working. I gave it a chance, especially because the reason why is like he saw that there was something wrong, so he made me talk, and I wasn't ready to talk about it yet. So I was like, okay, well, I wasn't ready to have that conversation yet anyway, so let me give him another shot. And then I just broke up with him. I was like, I just can't anymore. So, and then once that relationship was over, oh my God, I was so happy. So happy. It was such a relief because it was really stressing me out and weighing down on me. Oh my gosh. And now I look back and I'm like, I don't even get why I dated that guy. I don't even get it. And with the girl, Emily, with Emily, I didn't even come up with a fake name for the guy. I just been saying the guy. But with Emily, fake name, I kind of got it. Because I got why that relationship started. You know, I was going through a weird period of time in my life where I was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted and who I liked and my sexuality. Like, that kind of made sense how that got started. And like, I don't regret that because I ended up with Mikey. But once I got Mikey, I really wish that would have been, I cut it off right there. Because everything else, whatever, I got Mikey in my life. But after that point in our relationship, once I got Mikey, that's when I should have got out, and I tried. I did try, but it didn't work. So yeah, so I pretty much went through these 2 relationships that like were not good for me. And I also started noticing that there were some similarities between the 2 relationships on how like I felt like both of those people were really insecure, and like, maybe I'm saying too much. I don't know. But based off my most recent relationship, I just felt like the people in them were insecure. They took their insecurities out on me and made me feel bad about myself. Because they couldn't handle their insecurity, they had to make me feel bad about me and how I acted around them. So I felt like I had to be walking on eggshells and like, to avoid them getting mad or like having to say something that would relate to their insecurities, and like it was just so stressful. So that's why in my TMI tag, I kind of talked about this. In my TMI tag, I was like, in the future, I am looking for someone who's confident. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being insecure, but when you're insecure to the point where you are taking it out on other people, it's not good. Not good. So there was just certain things that I was kind of seeing similarities, and I was also seeing how like I reacted to that relationship, because this guy was the first relationship after that relationship, so it was kind of like, I guess kind of like a rebound relationship where I was kind of like, it's kind of like my adjustment relationship, and I was kind of noticing the way that I reacted to him was kind of the way I reacted to Emily. So I was like, okay, now I'm seeing what's going on, and now I know for sure exactly what to look out for, exactly what I want. And I know moving forward, if I go on Tinder, I'm going to go, the next time I meet a guy that I'm interested in, I could possibly see a future relationship with him, I'm going on at least like 10 dates. Like, I'm not going to go on 1 or 2 and then call each other boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, the first time I thought, oh, maybe it's love at first sight. No. Maybe it is. But it doesn't hurt to go on a couple more dates. It does not hurt. So, Just putting that out there. Oh my gosh. But yeah, my dating life isn't that. It's interesting. But I don't feel like I don't think I've ever been in love. I definitely haven't ever been in love. I think I've in every relationship I thought I was in love, was not in love. But I'm not even looking forward to getting back in a relationship. I'm looking forward to like dating, just so I can get out and meet people and stuff and be social. And eventually I want to get married and then have kids and stuff. So, but ideally like to get married before like I start getting wrinkles. That'd be nice. No one say that I'm already getting them, because I'm not. I'm not. But yeah, so, I don't know, if you guys have anything you want to share, really relationship stuff that you want to share below, or any, like if you guys want to answer any of the questions that were asked in here, if you have any tips on how to deal with health problems, relationship stuff, or your favorite ColourPop, Super Shock, Shadow, TV shows, Netflix shows, let us know down in the comments. But we're going to end it there because I know this is already probably going to be a really long video. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Again, if you guys want to see more Q&A videos, then just leave some questions down below in this video, and if I get enough questions, then I will make sure to put another Q&A together for you guys, because these are fun. I love getting to chit chat with you guys about just whatever. So yeah. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Click that little bell so that you're notified when my videos have been posted. Like this video if you did like it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! So here is Marvelous. This one I think is the most transitional between all seasons. I think it'd be great for fall, winter, spring, and summer. And also the most wearable shade in the collection. The next shade that we have is Red Vixen. This is a really beautiful deep red. Another good lipstick that you can wear both